Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. My name's Dan. This is Tweet FPV. Glad to see you all here this morning. It's another beautiful day outside. Probably a little too nice to be down here live streaming. But it is what it is. Welcome. Glad to see everybody's here. Free Lojo. This is number 3. All right, cool. I shut that off. Lawrence says, DJI's come a long way and just getting better. Good morning, GMI Visuals. Paul McDonald, Borked, H-Speed. How's everybody doing this morning? Get some tunes going. Let me know if it's too loud, too quiet, whatever. I ended my subscription to Epidemic Sound, and holy crap, were they quick to demonetize a lot of videos that well, not a lot, but I had a video that came out like the day after I canceled my subscription, and yeah, they hit that one hard. It was like, man, they didn't waste any time. Didn't waste any time at all. But anyways, there's some other options out there. Give them a try. Good morning, H-Speed. Morton Upshot, how are you doing this morning? William Tan, welcome to all the tweets here. Lawrence says, yes, I tried them 2 weeks ago. Very impressed, but did get the dreaded fogging first try. Dang, that was, yeah, that's the only thing I'm worried about with the goggles too, is the fogging. Yeah, it's an issue. I want to say that I want to try some of the anti-fogging solutions, see if that would be an option, since there's no defogging fan on these things. Really weird choice not to put one in there. Really weird choice. Wrong way, FPV. Good morning. I'm flying my first paying gig. Awesome. That is awesome. Racing Cine Whips at our local monster truck show, the Monster Truck Nitro show. They like to use local pilots. Gotta have 107 though. Yep, you gotta have 107. Gotta have a 107. And then eventually you'll have to have remote ID on that quad, regardless of the size or weight. North 49 IFC, good morning. Expander, how are you doing? 8X, hey. Cutting up a tree at the moment. Good. Yuck. Deanna Justice, how you doing this morning? Nice to see you here. Pedro Tomei, hello. OCD FPV from Fenton, Michigan. Currently watching from Houston, Texas. Well, that's certainly a difference in climate. Fenton, Michigan, very, very, very close to where I grew up. Grew up in a Howell, not too far from Fenton. Lawrence, good morning. Mike Berwin. Ryan, hello. Flying Ryan, good morning. Rick Zapata, good morning. How you doing? Flying at the field. Good for you, man. Scott back from the trek and is playing. And Sim is playing. All right. Mike Bergman asked a question. What do you think of these battery straps? What do you think? All right, let's see what you got here. Yep, go to site. All right, let's see what we got here. Are they silicone? You know, that might be kind of interesting. One of the things that is interesting about regular lipo straps is they have no stretch to them, so you can't compress them. So if you do like a lipo directly to a carbon fiber plate, there's no real way to tension anything. You're getting a little bit of stretch out of the nylon or whatever the strap's made of, but that's about it. It's like using a buckle style strap for strapping down wood to a bed of a trailer. It's not going to work. You need something to put extra tension on there. They don't look like they'd be very durable. Looks like as soon as they had any sort of impact, they would tear and fail. But you could probably put a lot more tension. You could build up tension in the strap as opposed to having to use like the Umagat or the foam base, the foam battery bases to actually put the tension into the strap. Yeah, they're these weird pronghorn style straps. So I know these type of straps are extremely, extremely popular in backpacking and especially like motorcycle, like off-roading. Actually, I'm glad you posted this because I'll probably end up buying some of these. So there's a company called Great Loop that sells something called a pronghorn strap. Looks exactly like this, and those things are really expensive. I think it's like $40 per strap, and they're pretty renowned as one of the best securing devices out there. Exactly kind of like what this dude's doing right here. But there's a company called Giant Loop. It sells pronghorn straps. Let's see. There we go. Pretty similar thing. I'm sure these are maybe a bit thicker, but like these are, you know, $30 a piece, 30 to $35 a piece. But same kind of idea. Very cool idea. Hey, thanks for the link. It wasn't something I was looking for, but it's something that I'll probably be buying. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think you'd be able to get really good tension with those. Lawrence says battery hand warmers are now part of my flight pack. I have a old hand warmer, and it uses little fuel rods. You stick in there, close it in this little fiberglass lined clamshell, and you stick it in your pocket. So you've literally got something on fire in your pocket. Super effective. Steady Eddie, good morning. TK, how you doing? Bork says I use them for bike packing. Great for, yeah, and Jesus, like you guys are reading my mind. I wanted to get some pronghorn straps. Okay, so the music I'm listening to is it's free, so there's going to be some advertisements in there. Sorry, guys. I'm really reevaluating how much money is going out versus what's coming in. And you know, like I haven't made a dime on this thing. It's all, you know, what I make in YouTube ad revenue doesn't even cover my Adobe license, but I use Adobe for other things, so I can justify it. But not the music services, and not the you know, there's a lot of like the TubeBuddy, the publishing software. Just can't make it make sense anymore. I would think they would stretch and break. Yeah, you would have to be careful how much tension you put on there. Yeah. Mike Berger says that's my exact problem. I think the lack of tension is that's why I'm still searching for the answer. Well, what you can do is some of the UMA grip is going to be your your best friend. That's going to be how you add the layer of tension into your setup. I used to have a very difficult time with chucking batteries, chopping lipo, main discharge leads, chopping balance ports, connections. Like I still kind of have issues with that with every build. It's just how to secure everything properly so you don't have to worry about that. Racing quads, it was very easy. Some of the 3M dual lock is the way to go with that stuff, and then also using that in conjunction with one of the Kevlar lined lipo straps from, say, Lumineer or Race Day quads. The Lumineer ones, just as a heads up, those things have a lifetime warranty on them. So if you break one, take a picture of it, email Get FPV, they'll send you a new one. So those are very nice lipo straps. But yeah, that's what I use for the compression layer is the UMA grip. And literally when I'm putting my lipo straps on, I am wrenching the ever-living crap out of them to the point where you think you're going to break the strap. One Vision Aerial, how you doing? Brandon Big Beans, good morning. Rick Cepeda made a 12S jet. Yikes. Think about putting DJI in it so people can ride along. That'd be awesome. You fly line of sight and they get to ride in the cockpit. Put a head tracker on it. That would be really cool. Let's see, I've had some really good luck with some decent printed TPU straps. Yeah. I've got a battery heated lipo bag. That makes any sense. One of the Ethics ones. It's honestly pretty damn nice. It's a really expensive lipo bag, but the heater in it's pretty cool. It's neat. Makes it lipos nice and warm. You don't suffer from the cold temperatures. I use Tide Pods apparently. Nice. I printed a TPU battery holder for my 4-inch toothpick. It's more like a stretchy whip holder. Yeah. You can get away with that with smaller, lighter batteries. Super straps. If you guys haven't noticed, that got a bit smaller. The X Class is gone. On its way to its new home. So Beast Class on the wall. It is. Definitely not as impressive looking on the wall. Well, I just didn't want to work on it anymore. Hated working in that frame. That iFlight frame was just a pain in the butt to work on. Let's see, back to the chat here. Ryan says he has the Ethics bag. It's great. Yeah, it is really good. It's a really good LiPo bag. Bobby Bags, how you doing this morning? 8-bit. Good morning. Oh, I got dogs scratching the door. Hang on. All right. Cool. Dogs are in. They're not scratching at the door anymore. OBS is failing. It's going to start saying, I can't do what I want it to do. And Lumia Stream is working. Great. Okay. So anyways, today, as you can see in the title description, today we're going to get... Ooh, actually, I got to... There we go. We're going to give away this. This is the Walksnail Avatar VRX and the 1S Mini VTX kit. We'll be giving that away today at 11:45. If you haven't gotten in on the giveaway, I suggest you do it in the next 30-ish minutes. Otherwise, that'll suck for you if you didn't do it. 26 people. You have a 1 in 26 chance to win that setup. It's a very cool setup. Walksnail Avatar VRX and the camera are very cool. I really like this system. With that said, I'm not going to be using it or keeping, or going down the Walksnail route. I'm really in deep with DJI and the goggles too, and the O3 Air unit. I absolutely love that system, and I also really like HD0. This fills like a little middle ground niche that I would like to have, but it's just not worth the time and effort for me. The big thing I like about this is the fact that you could put this in, like a 1S whoop, and you will have really good onboard high def DVR, because these do have internal recording capabilities, so you're not just relying on recorded DVR from the goggles. So other than that, it's a great system, but I just I finally got away from having HD0 hanging off my goggles on my my Orcas. I'm into these guys now. It's nice not having extra stuff hanging off the goggles, so I don't really want to do that. I feel like I'm going backwards with it, but great system. If you are not going to get into DJI because you hate DJI because they're DJI in China. I mean, you know, this stuff's all made in China too, so I don't know if that's a really good argument. But if you don't like DJI and you're not into HE0, that is a good way to go. Really good way to go. Rick Spade says his jet's using two 6S 10 amp batteries. Damn. That Beast class back there, that thing is 12S as well. I'm using two 6S. I don't remember how many milliamp batteries they were. They were expensive though, like really expensive. Yeah, two of these big old bad boy bricks. These are not cheap. I do not want to buy more of these. And they're so heavy. Like literally this weighs more than the entire quad. The two batteries. These things are weigh about 1 kilogram between the two of them. Yeah. Buyback says I got a 03 Bane God. I have to assemble it. Cool. Brian, I have a confession. I've only flown the 03 system for the past 4 weeks now, except for whooping, tuning my buddy's 4-inch. What do you think, Brandon? Overall, I know you flew a lot of the original DJI system. What do you think of the 03? And have you flown the goggles 2 yet? Curious. Yeah, that's my next project is trying to build a sub 250 with the 03 air unit. I think I'm going to try doing that inside the. I don't know if I want to go 3-inch or 4-inch. If I'm going to go 3-inch, I have a BQE Ripsqueak that I would like to put in. If I'm going to go 4-inch, I have a Ronin FPV something. Ronin, what the heck frame do I have? It is the, nope. Yeah, this one, the Ronin Mark II. This is the frame that I would try to build if I'm gonna go 4-inch. I don't know how well I can keep that under 250, but I would do that. And the other one I would try to do it with is the oh my god 250. I have a 5-inch on 6S that I could barely keep under 250 with the original DJI system. You know, I could nakedize it and definitely get under 250, but that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to try to get those under 250. Bitterroot says, "What am I printing? What am I printing? What am I printing back there? What I'm printing is I am printing." Let me show you what I am printing. Is this? It is a watch stand. I wear a smartwatch. The watch I had was a TicWatch from TicWatch. It's a TicWatch 4G, and it always had an issue where if the battery dies, it's like a 3-day ordeal to get the damn thing to actually charge. It's like it's got to be powered on to charge, but you can't charge because it's not powered on. You can leave it on a charger for a day, and you go to turn it on, and it still says it's dead. So I've had enough of it. I bought a Galaxy Watch 5. There's not a lot of options out there for LTE connected smartwatches unless you want to go with Apple, which I don't do Apple. But what I'm printing is a stand for it. But I'm using the new Prusa slicer, the beta Prusa slicer, and I'm trying out the organic tree supports here. And so far it looks pretty good. That's all. That's on the Voron. It's kind of a weird camera angle. You can't really see it, but you can kind of see a little bit of the tree support starting right here. And this is, I don't do a lot of PLA, but things like this, PLA is just fine. This is Mystic Gray from Prusament. It's almost like a really, really dark blue. There you go. You can kind of see some of the tree supports right there. And it also saved a lot of time. I think it shaved 30 minutes off the print. All of the settings being the same, using tree supports or organic supports in lieu of traditional supports, knocked about 30 minutes off the print. But that is what I'm printing. Let's see. Where are we at? O3 makes a Vista look like analog. Yeah, it does. Especially if you're using the goggles too. Like it is amazing. Sergio, good morning. Knock the chain off the saw, slap that bad boy back on there, and get at her. I just looking through the chat here. Brandon McBean said the new O3 makes Vista look drab. It's a step up for sure. Long range seems to hang in onto less megabits, more steady. Not tried the goggles 2 yet. Yeah, don't. It's I thought it would be comparable. It's not. It's not even a fair comparison. The goggles 2 look so much better. So much better. Bitterroot says I got Barwell's 250 this week. It has HD0 and it's only under 200 and it's only under 250 with 6S 380 milliamp. Yeah. You look more like an Apple guy. Fuck you. No, tweets don't use Apple. X do. Let's see. Steady Eddie says, have you seen the FPVFC and the FTCA initiative and petition Congress to raise the 250 gram to 1 kilogram? Yes, I have. I've already sent in my 3 canned letters. That is something we're going to talk about today during the live stream. Is remote ID is not going anywhere. FRIAs are not going to be as easy as the CBOs had originally thought they were going to be. The FAA has made it clear that, no. FRIAs are not for everybody. They're for very, very few people. So the only other option we have right now in the very short in term is to up the limit from 250 grams. 250 grams is an arbitrary number that means absolutely nothing. I do have a link in the video description to find the canned letter to send to your congressman, and also in there. So here's the memo. Basically, just copy paste it in there. This link here, you can punch in your zip code and state, and it'll show you who your reps and your Congress people are. Go ahead and email them. Just canned form, send it off to them. That's about the best we can do right now. The only thing I'm concerned about is the FPVFC and the FTCA make the argument that the 250 gram limit is completely arbitrary and has no basis in reality. It's just a random number that somebody threw out way back during like World War I or something like that as a weight limit. My concern is that somebody's actually going to look into what a safe weight limit would be, and they're going to come up with like 55 grams, and we're all just because of it. That's my only concern. Like, they're making the argument that it has no basis in reality, but they're also not looking at the fact that maybe it's too high. So that's my only concern with it. And also like watch the flight test video. Go to the FTCFC, FTCAFC, and Watch the latest update video. It goes into a lot of depth and explains a lot of the process and what they're doing in the interim to fix this issue for us. 1 gram would basically cover almost all of us in FPV, except for people flying stupid things like, old Beastie Boy back there, and probably Rick's 12S murder jet that he's flying around. But I think that is going to be the easiest way to solve our issue with remote ID. How long will that take to print? The print time on that total was 258, and I'm not pushing it. The Voron can go very fast. I'm geared more towards reliability right now, so what the hell's going on here? Yeah, I'm gearing it more towards reliability, so I'm not really pushing the speed on it. Bobby Beck says, sent my 3 letters to both senators and my local representative. Good. Everybody should do that. If you're in this hobby and you care the slightest, you should do this. A lot of people did not comment during the NPRM commenting period, and I don't really understand why. I think people were afraid to put their names on things, which I don't know, still doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but it is what it is. This is still very anonymous, or can be very anonymous. Yeah, you could make it personal, but you know, you get enough people with the same thing coming across the same congressman's desk, and they're apt to pay attention to it. Like, you can make it personal if you wanted. Something is better than nothing. Nothing gets you nowhere. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Yeah. Boost and JDM. Don't ask because you may not like the answer. Yeah. That is my one concern. Murderizer jet. See what Lauren share. My chat window went away. Why? All right. I guess I don't get chat window anymore. Oh, come on. Let's see. Live chat. Hop out chat. Copy. Docs. Customize. Bit. There we go. Cool. There we go. Nobody to care about remote ID. The bit hurt. Yeah. So you print the bare of the product? For the most part, yes. Adds to reliability and the detail in the print. If you go too fast, more chances of failure and more chances of artifacts like ringing and things like that. Brandon Baked Beans says, I'll do my letters and taxes this week. I for sure commented on the NPRM, and we'll be sending my 88 reps a letter for sure. Now, just so everybody knows, most likely you're not actually sending a actual letter. It's most of the time it's just an online form that you fill out. Very few representatives actually even accept physical mail. You know, nobody wants to open up a letter full of Ryzen, so there's not a lot of letters going back and forth. Yeah. When Jumbie, sub 250, question mark? Yeah, sub 250, I don't know where you're at, but at least in the US, if you're below sub 250, if you're below 250 grams, then it's considered flying a toy. and all you have to do is your typical airspace requirements, but no need for registration, no need for remote ID, unless you're flying in a 107 capacity, in furtherance of a business, then you will still need a Part 107, regardless of how big the quad is. It can be this Mobula 7 HD. If you put that video on YouTube and you're monetized, boom, 107 remote ID time. Yeah. David Johnson, tree supports are great. I use them on a big project, save me a lot of time and material. Yeah, and the other part is that a lot of people don't talk about is, especially like PLA doesn't really matter too much, but I mostly print in ABS and PETG or other technical filaments, and it reduces the amount of scarring on the print because there's less contact points. Let's see. One visionary. It's going to take someone with some knowledge of FPV quad and all that comes knowing insides and outs, not pencil pusher with no clue, random numbers. Yeah, and that's the problem is government workers typically don't stay in positions, the same position for like their life. They're there for 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and then they move on and get promoted. And then you got another person just coming right back into that position that might just be another pencil pusher. They need to have a very good, clear lines of communication and a working relationship with somebody in the community, one of these CBOs, not the AMA. AMA, they're worthless for us. Brandon McBean says, I have another confession. I'm addicted to instant coffee. All right. We're going to put you in timeout. Brandon. No, dude. No. I can get behind decaf better than instant coffee. Instant coffee, if you're traveling, if you're backpacking across the Appalachian Trail and you have nothing better to you have no other options. No. Bad, Brandon. Bad. No. 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 Sorry, I don't know how to time you out. I've never timed someone out. Oh, man. Mike Berman says, started hate simplified 3D V5. Anyone else running it? No, I have a simplified 3D license. I haven't ran it in a very long time. Robbie Store, how you doing? Hey, I sent you a message over on Discord. Do you mind if I show that clip you sent me earlier today? I'd like to see what everybody else thinks. Is Patreon considered monetization? Yeah, it is. If you get money off of it, or somebody gets money off of it, then yes. Is Porncop going to be making an appearance today? Yeah, we register sub 250. It sucks. Really? All the way down to everything. Rick Cepeda says, we have been talking about here, that's fine, AMA Field is no longer going to be required. I'm dropping my AMA for flight test membership. Field will soon be a flight test free us. Good. Good. Seti says, also some of my 107 work with the Beta 85 size whoop is going to require a remote ID or I become an outlaw. Yes. Yep. Yeah. Let's see. Still having the same problem. Okay. All right. Oh, all right. Steady said it headed inside of local time. The local time to fly. Got 3 to 5 inches of snow yesterday. Yeesh. Anything with video capturing capability, you have to register in wherever you're at. That's interesting. It's funny how varying the rules and requirements are across the globe as far as things that fly are. David Johnson, playing with the lights. Sorry, guys. Hope Brandon didn't leave. He might have. I don't know. We're just goofing around. Brandon's over on the Discord. Says, can't believe we got timed out. I was younger. There was a few bars I got thrown out of too. Nice. Brandon, it's all in good fun. I'm just messing with you. It's only 5 minutes. Yeah, you're back. All right. So here's a question for you guys. So, was sent this video. They're wondering what is up with their quad. I'm gonna have to get rid of my face here because that might be pertinent to that. So here's a quick clip, and so right about here, right here, you're gonna see the inability of this TP3 to pull out of a dive. It's just right to the ground. What do you guys think that is? Originally, we were thinking little micro fail-safes, but I don't think that's the case anymore. You notice the LQ and RSSI stay fairly high up. But let's go ahead and slow this down some more. Something that I started noticing, and let me see what you guys think. So this is slowed down significantly. Watch motor number 2 right there. Did you guys see that? Rewind it again. What do you guys think is the cause of this? And this happens every time they fly. What do you think? Yeah, honestly, Brandon, I've never timed someone out. Apparently, it's just 5 minutes. Any thoughts? What do you guys think? Right there, that motor comes to like a 0 RPM, and you notice it actually happens throughout the entire flight. That's what I'm going through. I'm thinking it's a desync. Watch right, I think right about here it does it. You'll see that number 2 motor just stops. Burp. And it seems like it stutters when it restarts. Right there, look at that. I'm thinking either desyncs. Actually, I'm thinking desyncs. What do you guys think? This person's tried different ESC firmware with the same results. Oh my God, it's 4:45. You guys have 1 minute to enter for the drawing for the Walksnail Avatar VRX and the VTX, 1S VTX. If you haven't entered the giveaway yet, I would strongly recommend doing it. There's 36 people entered. You have a 1 in 36 chance of winning this bad boy. Running bidirectional D-shot with the wrong firmware. I don't think that's the case. Brandon says sync. Mike Bergman says ramp up time. Brandon says it nearly desync there. Yeah, it's like right on the edge there. Maybe up in the idle RPM might help out. It's a brand new build. Shouldn't be anything wrong with it physically. Of course, it's not here, so I can't tell. So I wouldn't think it'd be bad bearings. Motor 2 is slowing down. Beta Flight is throttling the rest of the match. I wish this thing had black box. It would really help out, but unfortunately it does not. Brandon McBean says, raise idle. Raise dynamic idle if you're using it. Check the leads and wires, solder joints. Make sure the motor spins freely. Yep. Neurocopter says, good luck. Not entering because another money sink. Yes, for me, it is a money sink. It's a great product, but it's a money sink. And right now, it's not a good time for it. Stop front motor and try again. If the problem moves to the front left, replace the motor. That's good troubleshooting idea. How do you get into that giveaway? You have to figure it out. The VRX already? Good luck. I want the VRX. It says Athex. Me too says Athex. Good luck, you guys. All right. Okay, guys. I'll give you another couple minutes here. Maybe another. All right, let's do it. Let's do it at 11:50. It's 11:46 right now. 11:50. We'll spin the wheel for that thing, and see who gets it. I've been randomly collecting things for the mystery bag again. I had a lot of fun doing that last week. We'll probably do it again maybe 2 weeks from now. Solder joints, small crack, bad connection that vibrates. That's possible. That's certainly possible. But yeah, hopefully. Bruce, mystery bag. Yeah. We're not doing mystery bag today. We're just doing straight up giveaway. So the way the giveaway works is when I finally decide what it is I'm going to give away, all my Patreon supporters that are on the $5 and up tier, they get the entry link as soon as I make it available. Everybody else gets it when I go live for the giveaway. Morgan Upshot says, always the same motor. I don't know. It's the only video clip I have. I would have to ask the person that sent that in. Brandon says, take the props off and arm it at idle and then manually move some of those wires around on the bad motor. See if it messes with it. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's one way to do it. I don't know if it happens always at the same flight regime, like if it'll do it just flying straight and level, or if it's only like high power demands, like at the bottom of a dive. Might be a bad connection of the lead to the windings. I've seen that happen quite a bit, especially in the smaller motors. It seems like the connection to the windings, where they attach the silicone wire, seems to be a lot more fragile on the small motors than on the big motors. But I guess that kind of makes sense, just because it's a lot less material there to. Mike Bergman, I think you found a solution there. Tell him to rub it. Tell him to arm it, rub his tummy, tap his head, turn around 3 times. Jory FPV says, if high power demands, you could possibly induce the issue on the bench by spinning the motor in beta flight. Possibly, except for if it's high power demands, spinning it in beta flight on the bench isn't going to really replicate it if it's maybe like a constriction, a current limiting issue between the battery, the connector, the main ESC pads. Doing it on the bench is about as low load as you could possibly have on the motor. But good idea. I just don't think it's going to get the same results it would actually in flight. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to close the entries for the VRX 54321. Well, that is it. Let's go ahead and populate this wheel here. All right, here we go. Let me make sure I don't show that part, because ain't nobody need that. All right, more up shots. 42. He's been around. He knows the deal. He knows what's going on. 42 seconds. I think we're already there. 42 seconds. Only requirements, you got to cover shipping because the post office doesn't need any more of my hard-earned money. Here we go. Good luck, everybody. And thanks for playing along. Thanks for supporting me and the channel. Here we go. Boom. Who will it be? Who will it be? Ooh, there I am. So I'm going to go. How about I go? Let's go over here. Oh, I see, Jory. I got you. More if the ESC gets sketchy during half hour. Okay. Barrier voltage didn't sag much. It didn't, but it was earlier in the video. Just in straight flight, it would actually blank out, which was also kind of weird. Yeah, I've seen that happen. Is it going to be David Johnson? David Johnson. I don't know who the hell you are, but congratulations. You have won yourself a Walk Snail Avatar VRX. Take the antennas out of these things, throw them in the trash. And you've also won the 1S Avatar VTX. Congratulations. Thanks for playing along. Thanks for supporting this. I will be sending you an email probably right after the live stream. Get some info from you and figure out what's going to cost to send it to you. But congratulations. And now I got to figure out what I'm going to do this month. I have no idea. What do you guys want? Analog or digital? Analog or digital? What are you guys thinking for this next month? Let's see. Start a poll. Next. Give away. All right. There's a dropping a poll in there. What you? I've got some analog stuff and I got some digital stuff. It's always hard because not everybody flies both systems. I'd say more people fly analog than they do the digital stuff, which obviously makes sense. Give away HD0 goggles. No. I wish I had enough coming into the channel that I could afford to do that. DJI, sorry. EDOC, it'd be DJI. Yeah, I guess I should make that more specific. It would be DJI digital, not any other digital. HD0 counts as analog. The goggles do, kind of, a little bit. So I've got some quads that I got 2 quads sitting around right now that I would like to give away. One's digital and one is analog. Bad for life, yeah. Yeah. Offer both as an option. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I should just do that. You pick. David Johnson, congratulations. Glad to have you here. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. All right. Yeah. This poll is stupid. I'm just gonna end it now. It'll be one or the other. You pick. It'll be a you pick package. But yeah. Now I'm trying to get ideas. What to give away? I've been doing a lot of already assembled quads. I've done a few. You guys build it quads, just parts in a bag. You get to build it yourself. I don't know. Got to think about this one. I'll probably put it up probably sometime next week. What do you guys want to see? What? I mean, other than, you know, a set of goggles, what quads have you seen that are interesting to you? Love me some parts in a bag. I'm addicted to solder fumes. Yeah, me too. Half built one. Yeah, I just finished building my 20S 2P 18650 pack. Oh, my print's done. Let's go look at these supports. I haven't done these organic supports yet, so here we go. Well, that is mighty, mighty good looking. Bench cam, here we go. There she is. That's so much less support material than what would normally be there. And it wasn't, you know, I just let it do its auto thing. So there's a little bit right there. And another one right there for the rounded corner. And there's a good fillet on all of this. So it tried to do organic supports there. That stuff just comes right off. So one thing I like about Simplified 3D, it had the best supports, and I think it still does have some of the best support generation in the game. Didn't need supports there. I mean, it's PLA. Let's see how these things come off. Almost, it's like zero scarring at all right there. Now, Prusa Slicer is borrowing this from, I think, Cura. So they're both open source. Look at that. Even the supports look great. Just like the support that itself is fantastic. But that is a mighty clean print right there. I mean, it's PLA. It requires almost zero skill and effort to print this well. But that is mighty nice. God, I wish PLA, I wish other material types had the cool colors that PLA does. But anyways, it's almost like I planned it to finish right at the end of the stream. I did not. Let's see. Morton Prusa Slicer has supports tree supports. The alpha version of Prusa Slicer 2.6 has tree supports. Very, very cool option. That's one thing I miss about banning Cura. Well, you don't have to miss it anymore. Most of my prints I send to Brain 3D has a lot of bumps. Would that be because they never sliced it? Oh no, they had to have sliced it. You're sending them the raw STLs. If it has a bunch of bumps all over it, that's just, you know, being a shit printer. I mean, there's really no nice way to put that. If you have your prints tuned correctly, the bumps you might be seeing might be scarring from the support material. It depends on where they're at. But if you got like these little zits all over it, that's just bad tuning from the printer. Hey, Area 509 FPVs here. Thanks for showing up. All right, guys. I'll see you next weekend. As always, stay positive and get out and go fly. See you later.